This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. A granddaughter watches as iconic items from Kentucky Fried Chicken founder Colonel Sanders hit the auction block.
I hope that people can enjoy, like I said, taking a little piece of him with them and appreciating it and continuing the legacy that he has.
That story and more coming up this West Virginia Morning. Support for West Virginia Morning is provided by Hope Gas, committed to the growth and development of West Virginia to strengthen the community. Information at wvisforhope.com. Lawmakers have said school funding reform is a top priority in next year's legislative session. As Chris Schultz reports, they got a glimpse of the governor's perspective on the issue.
The Joint Standing Committee on Education Sunday ended with a presentation on the governor's principles and objectives for education reform. Curtis Capehart, who wears many hats in Governor Patrick Morrisey's administration, including acting Secretary of Tourism, told lawmakers his presentation would relate the governor's fundamental principles for reform rather than particular statutes, rules, or policies. On school funding, he said necessary reform must be carried out in a fiscally disciplined manner.
Simply spending more is not the answer. Instead, we should devote our time and energy to ensuring that funds are being allocated in the most effective and efficient manner and places possible.
Capehart also said the system needs to be simplified while keeping money tied to the student over institutions. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Chris Schultz in Morgantown.
Members of the Joint Committee on Children and Families were frustrated by the lack of detailed information they received regarding critical incidents involving children in state care. Maria Young reports.
The state's new Critical Incident Review Team, part of the Bureau for Social Services, assesses fatal or near-fatal incidents involving a child after a referral to the Department of Human Services. Between July 11, 2025 and June 30th, there were 89 such critical incidents statewide. BSS Deputy Commissioner Kendra Boley-Rogers said not all such incidents involve abuse or neglect.
We saw a lot of teen suicides, and so that was one of our recommendations, was being able to engage the Department of Education on enhancing mental health services for our youth.
Lawmakers say they want far more detailed reports moving forward, including what happened in the 41 cases that did meet the definition of abuse or neglect. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Maria Young in Charleston.
Lawmakers discussed AI surveillance cameras for nearly an hour and a half on Sunday as controversies continue about the use of technology. Eric Douglas has more.
Lawmakers from both parties raised concerns about AI-enabled surveillance camera systems during Sunday's legislative interim meeting of the Joint Standing Committee on Government Organization. Alistair Whitney, legislative counsel for the law firm Institute for Justice, presented model legislation to the group to help regulate the tools.
They deserve and need to be regulated before these things are expanding on every street corner or in every road that we drive on. We urge the committee to err on the side of the Constitution and to protect West Virginians from warrantless mass surveillance before that actually happens.
Many of the lawmakers who spoke sounded skeptical of the technology for issues from government overreach to privacy concerns and the Fourth Amendment. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, this is Eric Douglas in Charleston.
This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. It's 7:54. A flood watch is in effect for most areas of West Virginia through Friday morning. Scattered rain and thunderstorms. Some storms could produce heavy rain and gusty wind, high temperatures in the 80s. Rain and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Lows tonight in the 60s, highs tomorrow in the 80s. Kentucky Fried Chicken founder Colonel Sanders' iconic items earned big bucks at auction. For the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, reporter Andrew Henderson went to the auction and hung around for the fried chicken.
575 folks, it's only money. They print it every day.
Colonel Sanders, you know him. Mustache, bow tie, white suit, fried chicken. His 1964 date book and working planner are up for sale on the auction block, and I've already finished one plate of chicken. In the back of the planner, written in what appears to be his handwriting, are 11 herbs and spices, along with corresponding measurements.
Why the recipe was inscribed there and what it was intended for remains a mystery. What it's for, it remains a mystery. We're not saying they're the herbs and spices, but you decide what you think they are.
Auctioneer Bill Minish, owner of the Minish Group, can't say it's the 11 herbs and spices rumored to make up Harlan Sanders' original fried chicken recipe. A 2001 lawsuit determined the herbs and spices written in the planner were not the fabled recipe. Nevertheless, bidding for the planner started at $6,000.
$6,000 where? Come on now, $6,000. What is $6,000?
Bids were accepted simultaneously online and in the dining room of the Claudia Sanders Dinner House. That's his wife's restaurant in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Over the course of nearly 5 minutes, Minish roused the crowd to continue bidding. In a minute, the book cleared $20,000.
Looking at it, go ahead and pull the trigger. $20,000! Holy cow, $20,000 is bid.
Ultimately, the book sold for $30,000 to an online bidder. Over 500 people participated in the auction of more than 100 items. Monogram cufflinks, vintage watches, and photos of the Colonel in Japan, to name a few. Another high-profile item included a briefcase owned by Harlan Sanders filled to the brim with personal and business documents. For $3,500, the lucky winner of the briefcase was Zachary Distel, curator of special collections for the Filson Historical Society. He says the society is hopeful the briefcase can give them a better understanding of Harlan Sanders' business operation.
I hate to say how the sausage was made, but to kind of see behind the scenes of, what life was like for him, especially after he sold the company.
KFC started in the 1930s in Corbin, Kentucky, when Harlan Sanders started selling fried chicken out of a service station.
Announcing the portable Sunday dinner by Colonel Sanders.
The first franchise opened in 1952 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Before Harlan Sanders sold the company in 1964 to John Y. Brown, who would later become governor of Kentucky.
Okay, Colonel, hit the road.
The Claudia Sanders Dinner House was the headquarters for the growing fried chicken operation. The Sanders purchased Blackwood Hall, which sits directly across from the dinner house, and lived there for years. And the Colonel would often take his work home.
He would put 3 or 4 or 5 franchisees up in here. They would actually stay overnight for like a week, and he would come down here and train them. Morgan
Hancock Lewis is a realtor with 6 Degrees Real Estate. A week before the auction, she gave tours through Blackwood Hall, which is closed to the public, as friends of the Sanders, the Settle family, still live there today. The family still runs Claudia Sanders Dinner House as well. A sealed bid auction was held for the dinner house and home, but the family ultimately decided to not sell either property. In all, nearly $300,000 was made in the auction. But for one attendee, they just wanted to see how it all played out. Here's Harlan Sanders' great-granddaughter, Elizabeth Ruggles Pitchford.
I hope that people can enjoy, like I said, taking a little piece of him with them and appreciating it and continuing the legacy that he has.
Pitchford already has plenty of keepsakes of her great-grandfather and says she's just happy to share his legacy with others. For the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, I'm Andrew Henderson in Shelbyville.
This story was produced as part of the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, a collaboration between NPR and several public radio stations in West Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Visit the special series page under the News tab on our website to find a link to the story and more. West Virginia Morning is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Support for our news bureaus comes from Shepherd University and Marshall University School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Maria Young produced today's show. Listen to West Virginia Morning weekdays at 7:49 a.m. on WVPB Radio or subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. #WV Morning. I'm Teresa Wills.